Hi, this is Neil Walters with HebrewResources.com. Have you ever wanted to memorize or to know all the Parashot of a specific book of the Torah? You know, we have Parashot, Shemot for Exodus, Parashot's Genesis, Vayiqra, Leviticus. And so since we're in the Parashot right now of Leviticus, what I created was some mnemonics here to help you learn and to memorize, or to at least to know, the books of the Parashot. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to begin with a crazy story, and please just stick with me to the end. If you listen to my story, I guarantee you that you'll remember these crazy things, and it will really help you remember the names of the Parashot. Now, you won't understand how at first, but again, just stick with me. This is not going to be crazy. It will be worth your time. So here's my story. And my story starts with the word Vayiqra, but I'm not selling it or anything. It's just part of the mnemonic, okay? So again, bear with me. If you buy a Vayiqra from one of those spam emails, you will save money and spend that money to save your chimney from falling down. Your chimney started to fall down when the Tasmanian devil blew through like a tornado. And after devouring your chimney, he blew through a Mets game in New York City. And the Mets were sorry they lost because of the Tasmanian devil. They lost so bad that they had to build a moat around their stadium where they played, around their ballpark. And it wasn't just any moat, it became a hairy moat because they pulled their hair out and they threw it in the moat because they were so sorry that the Mets lost, right? So they pulled out their hair, they threw it in the moat because the Mets were sorry. So there were a lot of kids at the game, and the kids felt sorry for them too. And the kids thought that if they gave them their new shin pads, they would be more likely to win next time. So thank goodness for the kiddos' shin pads. Then suddenly, a Moor from Morocco heard about them, and he saw the new kiddos' shin pads. And he was basically a big gambler, and he wagered all his bee hair in North Africa that he would win the next game. Now, in case you didn't know, this Moor was a geneticist, and he developed a special type of hair for bees, and it became very valuable. So that's why he was gambling with his bee hair. Well, surely enough, the Mets won the game. The Moor was now a wealthy man, so not only did he keep his bee hair, he took his money that he made and he bought a nice necktie. And it wasn't just a normal necktie, it was a hookah tie. You know, that's the type of neckties that have all those little smoking hookahs on them, okay? And that's the end of the story. Now, I know it sounds stupid, but now let's go through this. Vayiqra is how you remember Vayiqra. I mean, phonetically, those words are almost identical. I couldn't find a better word, so I'm sorry I had to use that word. If you're trying to teach this to your children, I couldn't find a kid-friendly word. Maybe vigor or something like that, or Vayiqi or something, but there's nothing that really matched. So we were buying Vayiqra from a spam email, and you save money. So the second parashah in the book of Leviticus is Sav. So the word save reminds you of the word Sav. So you buy Vayiqra and you sav, or save money, to fix your chimney, which is the next parashah, which is Shimini. Shimini, Shimini. So you get it? Vayiqra, sav, Vayiqra, sav, and Shimini. Vayiqra, save, chimney. Now, the Tasmanian devil is why your chimney blew over, right? So that's Tazria, Tasmanian, Tazria. And then he went to a Mets game who were sorry. So you had the Mets sorry. Metzora is the name of the next parashah. Now what did they do? Remember, they pulled their hair out and they threw it into the moat. So we have a hairy moat. Now if you know the books of Leviticus, or the Parashot, you know hairy moat is probably, what? Acharei moat. Very good. Then the kids in the stadium gave them their shin pads. So kids' shins. Kiddos' shins. Kadoshim. Okay? Kadoshim. Then who came along? A Moor from Africa. A Moor. And that's the name of the parashah. A Moor. Of course, it has a different meaning in Hebrew. But remember, the Moor was a crazy geneticist, and he was going to gamble away his bee hair. Bee hair reminds you of the parashah Bahar. Bahar. And then what did he do? He bought a special type of necktie. What kind of necktie? A hookah tie. And so the last parashah of Vayiqra is Bahukotai. A hookah tie. Bahuka tie. Now, if you go over this story a few times, like once a week for about a month, and then maybe once a month for the next 6 months, this will probably be embedded in your memory, and you might be able to remember it for the rest of your life. Another thing you can do is find a partner to work with, and you could quiz each other. Like you could say, what parashah comes after Tazria? And so Tazria reminds you of Taz, the Tasmanian devil, And the Tasmanian devil in our story did two things. He went to the chimney. He blew over your chimney. So Shimoni was the parashah in front of Tazria. And then after that, he went to the Mets game, the sorry Mets, right? The Mets Sora. So you can go forward or backwards. If someone says, what's after the parashah Emor, you know, it reminds you of the Moor from Africa, which reminds you of Beher. And so Bahar comes after Emor. Now, why did the Moor come? Because of the Kedoshins. So in front of Emor is the parashah Kedoshim. So this is a way you can use these not really acronyms, but these memory mnemonics to help you remember the books of Vayiqra. And in the future, maybe I'll do Bereshit and a couple of other books of the Torah.